Next, we welcome Roshan Raj, an upcoming artist, screenplay writer, a stand-up comedian, who's going to win the hearts of many in future. Roshan Raj. Next, we welcome Sai Sri Varsha Bhuminathan, along with her parents, who delivered the wonderful welcome address. She's a Commonwealth Championship and silver medalist in karate in Durban, South Africa, and has proved her mettle in various sports arena. Sri Varsha Bhuminathan, along with her parents. Next, we welcome Madhur Mohan. He's the winner of Smart India Hackathon 2022, conducted by the Government of India. Madhur Mohan. Next, we welcome Shamruta Reddy and Shrika Reddy. Shamruta Reddy and Shrika Reddy, who are here all the way from Madurai. Next, we welcome Surya Narayanan. Surya Narayanan. Surya Narayanan will now be felicitated by the Honorable Governor. Next, we have Surya Narayanan. He has won various awards in Hackathon. Surya Narayanan, he has won various awards in Hackathon. Shamruta Reddy and Shrika Reddy, they have won gold medal at archery state level competition. They just now received the felicitation. Last we call R.S. Jagdeep. R.S. Jagdeep, along with his parents, who has created his name, who has registered his name in the Lincoln Book of Records, will now be felicitated by the Honorable Governor. Thank you all. Thank you so much. A good round of applause for all the young achievers who were felicitated by the Honorable Governor. Adithanar, who came a little bit late, has joined us. Adithanar will now be felicitated by the Honorable Governor. Adithanar. Darshana R. I called the name then. Nobody responded, sir. Darshana R. Darshana R. Darshan R. Swimming national medal. He has won the national medal in swimming. Thank you all. Thank you all. A good round of applause for all the young achievers. This is just a beginning, and they are going to see skyrocketing heights in future, with the blessings of everyone present here. Thank you so much. Dear young achievers, ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Governor will now interact with the Abdul Kalams and great achievers of tomorrow.
My dear young friends and your parents, my best wishes and warmest greetings to all of you on the Children's Day today. I am so happy to meet the future of our country, the young, right from the primary school to the high school, that great, and maybe a few from college. Tomorrow is all yours. In fact, you are making even today yours. And we are so proud of all of you. In fact, I would like at this point of time, there's some of you, the achievers, you have some curiosity, some questions to ask. Please feel free. I know you are all doing well, and I wish and pray you continue doing better, winning more laurels, getting more glories. So, I am here before you. Some of you like to, this is interaction. Interaction is basically when you ask something and I reply, I talk to you. So who will break the ice first? I know you are feeling right now, it happens, shy, but one person starts and then you will find, yeah, here comes the one, icebreaker.
Good evening, sir. I am R. Bhuvneshwari, studying 12th standard from Akasti Mahalakshmi Metric Higher Secondary School, Villapakkam, Ranipet district. Who is your inspiration in your childhood?
In my childhood, my first inspiration was my mother. You know, it's because she was a very hard working woman. And when I used to study, and sometime when I used to feel as if I was tired, oh, I should break, then I always used to remember, look, if my mother could work so hard, I have no business not to study hard. And as I grew, I started getting inspirations from others. Some great scientists. When I was a school student at the time, first a spacecraft was sent in the space. You know, it was called a Sputnik. Russians had first, USA, Soviets had launched a spacecraft. And that nobody had gone. Everybody was just aircraft and not too supersonic. Mostly this, okay, different speed aircraft. But sending to a space, it was, because you know, the stars are very interesting to look at. And when I used to sleep in my rooftop in my village and look at the stars in the night, naturally you wonder, what is this? What are these things? And when the Russians sent the Sputnik, I started getting more and more inspiration from the scientists in a space domain. You know, I started reading their biographies, some of their autobiographies. Not many of them have written their autobiographies, but some autobiography and biography. And I found all these people were very hard-working people. And that kept giving me inspiration to continue working hard. And that's how the journey continued. Thank you. Yes.
Hello, I am Rohit Vishwa from Madurai. I have a question for you. What is your least favorite subject and how did you overcome it?
Least favorite subject and how do I?
Overcome it.
In my school, usually I didn't have actually subjects which I didn't like, but I was not very fond of social studies. You know, those days used to be called social studies. Some of my friends, they found mathematics as not very interesting. But I realized one thing, that the subject which you don't find it interesting, because in a school you have to do well. You have to not only pass, but you have to get good grades in every subject. After your school, when you go to college and go to some your professional course, then you have a selection. You choose what you want to. But in schools, you have to do well in all subjects. So, a subject which you find not very interesting, or maybe sometimes you will find the subject is scary, difficult. If a subject is difficult, only answer is to fight with it, grapple, study more. When there is a saying that appetite comes with the eating. Even when you are not hungry, when you start eating, you like to eat, don't you? You eat, you end up eating. So, at the beginning you may not like eating, but when you start eating, appetite develops and you eat. So, a subject which you don't like, but you have to study, the only answer is study more. And then you will find that after some time, that subject you will start liking it. In mathematics, which I find many students, when I meet the school students in high school, one subject, generally students, they find, not all, but a good number of students, they find it difficult and so they want to avoid it. That is mathematics. And from my experience, I tell you that you start doing more and more math sums. Start doing sums. Initially, you will find it difficult, but after some time, you will start enjoying it, because then this is a very, very, I find it the most interesting. Because when I studied physics in my master's, I did, primarily because of my mathematics. And sometimes the problem lies also with the teachers, that they don't know how to teach. They make the subject difficult. But actually, it is interesting, and the only answer is, when you have a challenge, you take it as a challenge. Anything that you find difficult, which you have to do, take it as a challenge. And once you take it as a challenge, then you will overcome it. Thank you.
Good evening, sir. I am S. T. Vashni, studying in 10th standard, Arkasti Mahalakshmi Metric Higher Secondary School, Belapakam, Ranipet District. Sir, could you share about unforgettable moment in college life?
Unforgettable moment in?
College life.
College life. College life, no one forgets. That's the time when when you come out of school, when you are so long over in school, you are always under hope. Somebody is watching you, your teachers, parents, everyone. But once you cross the school and go to college, you are on your own. The freedom that you get is something which is a new experience. Because unlike a school, in the college, there is nobody to guide you step by step. Of course, nowadays you have coaching centers and all those things, they do that. But that is only for coaching is after your school, when you go to a professional course. College, you have a lot of freedom. And there are many unforgettable moments with my friends when I was in the hostel, living with them, at times quarreling with them, at times, of course, most of the time we were very happy together. There are many moments. What do I tell you? If I start telling you, there is no end to it. Thank you.
Good evening, sir. My name is S. Divyasri. I am studying 12th standard in Shanmuga District Government Higher Secondary School, Tiruvannamalai District. Sir, your favorite author and your favorite book?
Favorite author? You know, in my college I studied physics. I did my masters. I continued remain in touch with my subject. Those days I used to, those days our professors also used to encourage. For example, we used to read books written by the scientist whose theory was taught. Now, if it is relativity, Einstein, read the book by Einstein. If it is physics wave theory, it is by Maxwell, Maxwell, read that. Quantum mechanics, read by Niels Bohr. All these were great scientists, physicists, their works, not the copy, not others. That is how we used to. All this. Subsequently, I think what you are referring to is in perhaps literature. So literature, for a science student, it's not become all the time, it's not that easy to switch over to literature. But I found literature, as a science student, you are analytical. You always look in terms of logic, in terms of calculations. But life is more than that. A curiosity that I had was that, look, in Nobel Prize, you have Nobel Prize for physics, Nobel Prize for chemistry, Nobel Prize for life sciences. Of course, there is a Nobel Prize for peace also, but Nobel Prize for literature also. I was curious, what is the contribution of literature? Because an engineer produces things, a scientist produces things, doctors are treating human beings' lives, saving lives. What is so great about literature? I thought there must be something in it. Then I started reading books. And how I did? Because when I go to the bookshop, there is no end to book. You have thousands of books. Which book do I choose? And all through, since I studied science, so mine is a science background. In colleges also, there was nobody to tell me, okay, read this. I used to hear some classical authors of old-time British authors, essentially, that too of English literature, but not much. Then what I started doing, I adopted a formula. And I tell you frankly, I started reading literature only much later after doing my post-graduation. Until then, I was all committed to my own science. So what I did, I used to find out, okay, this year, who won the Nobel Prize in literature? So my interest was, what kind of book this man has written or woman has written? Nobel Prize is given to the author not for any one book, but it is for contribution to literature. Unlike other prizes like Booker is given for a book, but Nobel is given for the contribution to literature. So I used to get all the books written by that author. So in a year there will be one Nobel laureate in literature. That person would have written half a dozen books, Sometimes not too many. Nobel laureates, you find that they don't write too many books. But maybe sometimes you will find 6, 8, sometimes even 10. I used to buy, I used to read. And then I started enjoying it. Then I expanded my library or my interest by looking into the bookers. Since Booker is given to one book, but there is in the selection panel of Booker, they select about half a dozen books, of which one is selected. The fact that half a dozen books have been shortlisted means all these books must be good. So I used to pick up all those which have been shortlisted. So I started collecting these books and reading those books. Sometimes people collect the book but don't read, they only put it in the shelf. That is not a good thing. Sometimes the books also used to be sometimes the books are very intimidating by the size, like War and Peace of Tolstoy. Is a big, almost about 1800 page book. But then, if you read it with patiently, you gain so much. Literature makes you a better person. And I tell you, since I have been reading only this, either the Nobel laureate's work or the Booker's shortlisted books, I find invariably, except some are very hard to look at. You will find, hard to read and comprehend, because some of them, they don't even do punctuation and even full stop. Especially if you read the books of this European, what is that? It is slipping. Where some of the authors, they have a tendency to write sentences, keep writing without any. But if you get into that, people love it, they like it, but I found it tedious. The book which I found, or the author which I found most interesting, because he takes you to a different domain, is Gabriel Garcia. He was the one who invented what is called, or he was the pioneer of a kind of a writing. Normally you read a story or a novel. It is a linear, a story is progressing. You find a character is... But actually in life that doesn't happen. You are listening to me, but at the same time, shortly, either you before or you sit, there are so many thoughts will be coming to your mind. Maybe sometime you're in school, sometime your cinema that you had seen, sometime the food you had eaten. Mind remains very active, So, it is difficult for the writer to capture that. Capture the chaos in the mind and still maintain the common thread. I do not know whether I'm making sense to you are very young people. But it is far more realistic, I think all these authors, because they were distinguished, they have enriched me. Of course, some of the old ones, like Gustave Flaubert, Balzac, they were the one who were most... Henry, and there's Gustave Flaubert, Balzac, then Hemingway, Dostoevsky, Russian, is a fantastic. Brothers Karamazov, Crime and Punishment, Idiot. They are all fantastic works, if you read that. Each of them will make you a better person. Stendhal, that French author, the author of the great book, The Red and the Black, is a wonderful book, just about 350 pages book, but it's remarkable. So, since I have confined myself, because I do not have the luxury of reading book halfway and throwing it. He's a trash author. I don't do. I don't have. I pick up those who have been shortlisted, assess the best. And that is how I have been doing. But choice is yours. Thank you.
A very good evening, sir. This is Sai Swarup here from Medavakam, Chennai. So, sir, I have two questions to ask you. So, the first one is, now we all know that India is very fastly developing, sir. So, where do you see India in next 10 years? And the second one is, how do you overcome the tough situations in your life, sir?
You know, our country is growing fast. You know, 10 years, 9 years back, we were the 10th economy in the world. Today, we are the 5th largest economy. Shortly, we are likely to be number 3rd. We are going to leave Japan behind. No, you can sit down. You can sit down. You can sit down. Having asked the question, you don't have to stand. Sit down. You know, the country is today awake with confidence. What is happening now is the energy which was sleeping among people, that energy is being unleashed, released. People are becoming more and more creative. In every field, look at the sports. I find a lot of sports prodigies, genius. If you look at the international sports, till a few years back, we were at the margin. I remember in 2008 when I was there in Beijing Olympic. But Beijing Olympic, I had gone over there. I was there for a long period as a Government of India representative. When we got one gold, when Avinav Bindra got in 10-meter shooting, got a gold, the newspaper, the Chinese newspaper wrote, "At last one." It was very humiliating kind of a thing. A country such a large, we are just getting. Look, today, we are now, our tallies have improved significantly. We are marching ahead in the sports. Be it Olympic, be it Paralympic, be it Asiad, be it Commonwealth Games, everywhere. So in every field, in science and technology, fine, everything. In startup, we are among the top 3. So country is moving very fast. What I say, 10 years is a midway course. Our target is 2047. Prime Minister calls it an Amrit Kal. Is the Amrit, you know, Amrit is for rejuvenation, for your revival. So this is the period when by 2047, India will be the number 1 country in the world. And you know who will make this number 1? You guys will make it. Now about the next question about the tough situation. You know, first of all, when a situation comes to you which appears tough, first you relax. Don't get stressed. You smile. In fact, I had developed a habit which I tell you, I don't know how many of you will take it seriously. Because even when I go to exam, I used to go to exam. When I used to get the question papers, sometimes the question paper used to be sometimes difficult. So, how did I overcome it? I would smile. You know why did I smile? Because there is nothing that has come in the question which I have not studied. I have read it. Only thing is memory. I have to recollect it. So it is a game. Game my memory is playing right now. I do not know how to solve this problem. But I have read it, I have done it. So, would you not like to smile? It is a game going on within you. Well, it is somewhere back of your mind in your computer, brain computer. It has to come out. When you smile, it comes out very easy. When you get stressed, oh, how can I do it? And this happened even in my UPSC examination, when I cleared my UPSC. When I got the, mathematics was one of my papers. When I got the question paper, half of the question I thought I would not be able to answer. But the same trick worked. Again I smiled. And I did 600 out of 600 I got in that. I answered all the questions. So, the secret of dealing with a tough situation is, you must say, okay, you are looking tough, but I will manage you, don't worry. I am bigger than you. Never allow your question or your problems to be larger than you. You know, you can surmount any obstacle, any difficulty. This is the beauty of human being. That as an individual, you have infinite capacity. Many a times we are not even aware of it. And very often we get daunted or intimidated or scared by a situation. How can I? It's a difficult situation. Why? What is difficult about it? We'll overcome it. Right now I do not know how to do it. I will find it out. Don't worry about it. I will do it. That confidence that you get, it makes the problem smaller. Situation simpler. If you lose confidence in yourself, you know, it is said that a person, in Bhagavad Gita, it says, Atmanaiva hi atmano bandhu atmanaiva ripudatmana. You are your best friend, you are your worst enemy. And if you are your best friend by having confidence in yourself. I can do it. And you can do it. But the moment you say, no, I can't, how can I? Then your entire positive energy goes. Then the problem goes bigger. You grow small, the problem grows bigger. When you have a confidence, you grow, problem gets smaller. That's the only way. Don't get intimidated or scared of the toughness of the situation. Any situation. Any situation that comes in life. Not necessarily in your academic, your study. Even in life, any challenge. Have a trust, believe in yourself. I can do it, I will do it. And then you will do it. That's all.
Good evening, sir. I am S. Hirashi of Class 8 in Sri R.M. Jain Vidyashram Senior Secondary School at Trivallur. Sir, when you have decided to study IPS?
I tell you, initially when I was a student, I never thought I will get into administration, I will get into IPS. I was pursuing my career thinking my dream was to be an astrophysicist, to be a scientist. But situation, it so happened, it happens in life, that sometimes your life takes a turn. Situation happened, I was away from home, abroad, in a foreign country. Being the youngest child of my parents, I had lost my father, my mother was alive. I was feeling homesick. I'm talking about when? 1974-75, those days. For going to London, there was no direct flight. You board a flight from Delhi, then you go to Rome. It will be refuel, then it will go. I was feeling homesick. I had to come back. Then how do I come back? What is there here? So I said, okay, I will write the civil services examination. I wrote the civil services examination, I got through. I became an IPS officer. So, it was at that point of time when I felt homesick, I wanted to meet my mother. Because I am the youngest of my siblings. And as a youngest, normally it happens that the youngest one gets more affection from the mother. That is what they say. People say that the older one gets, but I think my own sense is perhaps the youngest one gets more. So I was feeling that's how I came. Thank you. You ask. Yes.
What was the mantra made you more grateful?
More?
Grateful.
Grateful. You know, grateful, you should, that is a human quality. Sit down. Sit down. You must be grateful to everyone. You know, you are grateful. Normally people are grateful to people who do good to them. That you must. Somebody has done you good. You must be thankful to your teachers, to your parents, to your whoever has done something good to you. Because gratitude is the most precious virtue. A person who is ungrateful is not a good human being. You must develop, we all have it, but we must consciously develop it further. Many a times, we feel happy at somebody who has done good to me, and I feel grateful, but I don't express it. You must also learn the art of expressing it. Otherwise, you will be like a dumb person eating sugar. You are eating sugar, it tastes you are tasting it, but you are not expressing it. So learn to express. In my case, I find, many a times I am grateful to my adversaries, those who have opposed me. Because if they had not opposed me, I would not have taken the challenge, I would not have grown. So I am grateful to them for making my life difficult. Because only when the gold shines, only when it is put to fire. Not otherwise. Gold gets its shine when it is put in fire. And the best comes out of human being when you are challenged. Challenge need not necessarily be your sporting challenge. Challenge can be your adversaries who wants to cause harm to you. And you overcome that. So I have been grateful to even to those who have been opposing me, those of my adversaries, because they help me grow.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. I'm Bhavadashika from E Road. I would like to ask that what is the best advice do you give to today's students and the youngsters to reach their heights?
You are all, please sit down. Today, our young people, especially the students, they have far more exposure to knowledge. You have gadgets. You have any time you just click and you get the information. You can find out practically any information from your mobile. So, you are fortunate that you are in a time when you can get Earlier one has to go to book and take it out and open the pages where it is and it is quickly available. Today you have far more opportunities in life even to do things because of technology, new technology coming. So when you have more opportunities to do things, when you have far greater opportunities to know things. But the challenge today is distraction, lack of focus. These things which your gadget, be it mobile, be it your computer, laptop, or desktop, whatever it is, these are good tools. But because of so many things are available, it is a major distraction. Playing games, video games, all kinds of distractions are there. As a result, our young people, I find many of them, it is a challenge which is happening all around, is they are not able to reach the height which they are capable of reaching. So the most important advice that I would like to give to all my young friends is, don't get too attached to your mobile. Use it for a limited time, for the purpose. Keep it away. You will have some friends chatting you, these are all waste. At this point of time, the most important thing in your life is time. Make the best use of your time. When you have chatted on something unnecessary, when you have played some video games and all, what did you gain in life? Nothing. It's only a distraction. It also affects your concentration in studies. Because your study, you have to be concentrated. So, keeping away from these digital distractions is one thing which I would like to advise every young student. Don't get addicted to it. Don't keep the mobile all the time with you. Have a time, fix a time when you need it. When you have a time, okay, I need to talk to my friends and all, I will talk to you at 5:36 in the evening, fine. Look, heaven is not going to fall. A sky is not going to fall if your friends talk to you at 6:30, unless there is some emergency. If there is, what is the emergency for you people? Emergency is for parents to deal with. You don't have any emergency. So, minimum use of mobile, minimum use of laptop, computers, for whatever you need, information you need, go in it. Nowadays online classes happen, you do it, go to online, do the classes, do the sums, done with it. Reduce it. Believe me, today it is a major distraction, and my advice to all of the young is to keep it under check, keep away from it, minimum exposure, number one. Number two is, she asked me about being grateful. Sometimes our children, because they are digitally smarter than their parents, they start believing that they are really smarter than their parents. Actually, that is not the case. You may be digitally smarter. You may know how to fix a mobile, how to use the applications. Parents may not be knowing it. But that is not a big thing. Your best wisher in the whole world, the person who is your boss, the person who wishes you the best are your parents. Nobody else will come anywhere close to that, be sure about it. Your parents are your most best wisher? Nobody. Others are there, fine, but they are. Listen to the parents. Sometimes, because the parents have experience, they have wisdom. They know what is going to. You are at an age. Normally, when you are become 12, 13, 14, 15, those ages, in body hormonal changes happen. And you will start thinking you are at the top of the world. That is not. Your parents have already gone through that phase. They know what it is. So, listen to the parents' advice. And sometime when you feel that yes, you have a different point of view, respectfully place it to the parent and say, look, this is how I feel. Not quarrel, because that doesn't make you a good human being. Because while remaining focused, achieving greatness, you also must be a good human being. Only then your life will be fulfilling. So, keep digital devices under control. Don't use it too often. Limit it. Listen to your parents. Set larger dreams in life. Larger dreams. I see all of you are achievers. You are not ordinary student. In whatever field you have achieved something which many others have not achieved. That means you have that quality, that ability. And so, set large dream in that field. Be the top. Be at the top. That dream must be there. When you have a large dream, and when you work hard to fulfill that dream, remaining focused, away from distraction, and respectful to your parents, you can reach any height. Nothing will stop you. Remember that. Hard work, big dreams, large dreams, hard work to fulfill the dream, because mere dream will not take you. Dream has to be backed by. If you dream very small, you will never grow bigger than that. I find, I was asking some students, one student, bright student, what do you want? In graduate, I want to be a guard of a train. I said, why? Why do you want to be train guard? What is this? You are capable of being a big scientist. Then when I asked the question, it was a girl, and she was not who I think I should. So, dream big. Work hard. Believe in yourself. You can do it. Remain focused, away from distraction. Respectful to parents. Nothing else. Thank you. You can speak aloud.
Sir, my name is Ritvik.
Ritvik? Yeah. That's Ritvik.
I have a question for you. I spend more time in sports than studies. What's your opinion in it?
Look, it's fine. Nothing wrong in that. If you are in sports at your age, your parents should find out what is your natural appetite, natural tendency. If you are in a particular field, you should continue growing, and they should develop. Your parents will help you in growing in that. Sports today is, earlier days, some decades back, people used to look down upon a sport. What is their sport? Sports, you will playing. Will it give you a job? what will you get? It is no longer the case. Today, sports is a very good career that gives you respect, recognition, and money both. What everyone expects in life, normal expectation of every person is to get fame, recognition, that yes, so and so is a great winner, medal winner, this winner, that position. Recognition. Recognition by others, by the society. And the second thing that one wants is money, fortune. Fame and fortune are two things which everyone wants. Unless you are a sadhu, sannyasi, that's a different thing. But in the world, everyone wants it. So if you are in a sports, try to, do you have, what is your sports? Tell me. Karate? Now who is the karate number 1 in the world? Now do you like to beat him? Then work on that. That should be your target, to be the number 1. And then it's the best.
And it's such an honor to speak in presence of you. And what personally inspired you or made you to organize such a programs for the young achievers?
You know, please sit down. I think somebody would have asked me a question, why didn't I organize it? Because, I firmly believe, and I think others should also, that shortly people of my generation will be past. Future belongs to the young. Any amount of investment in the youth, in the young, is not too much. One can make any investment. The future of the country, it belongs to you, it depends on you. Now, how a country grows great? A country doesn't grow great by the government. Country does not grow great by a few people or a few institutions, no. Country grows great if the citizens of the country, they grow great. In every field. In the field of sports, why is it that you find when it comes to the tally and all, there are some countries in the world which bag all the mess. Now that makes the country proud because there are so many countrymen and women are doing it. So country grows great by the people, the young people of the country, young men and women. So the future, we make investment in our life to save something for future. When your parents would have done it, saving for future. Investment, then you buy something, keep something so that in future it will grow. Whether it is a house or land or something. Investment in future. Youth is the investment in future. Future of the nation. And so, wherever, normally as a chancellor of universities, I go to various universities, I meet students. Invariably, I meet students. I don't meet professors. Sometimes, if I don't have time, priority-wise, they come later. My first priority is students. Because they are the future. Professor has become whatever he has become. What is yet to become are students. And so, I thought, and I do organize from time to time. Every opportunity I like to seize. I catch the opportunity to catch the young people, talk to them. whenever the students from some university from our state or outside, whenever they send me a mail, we are coming a group, we like to meet you. I try to accommodate. Because first, when I see them, when I talk to them, when I listen them, I also get a sense of thinking of our young people. What are their dreams? What are their anxieties? What are their worries? That also helps me in understanding what our youth is thinking. And for me to tell them, to advise them. And I invariably advise them. Many a times I do. Because when I advise, it is not a theoretical advice. I have come from a very modest background. Very, very modest background. And if I can make it, anyone can make it. I like to inspire the students. That's all.
In the interest of time, 3 more questions are allowed. 3 more questions. 3 more questions. Yes.
I'm
Ask your question.
Yes, sir. So, people are now thinking of artificial intelligence, sir. So, some people also say that it will rule us in the future. So, what is your opinion, sir?
Look, artificial intelligence can never rule humans. Artificial intelligence is a creation of humans. Human mind that creates it. Yes, it can be dangerous, it has to be controlled. You know, like nuclear power. In nuclear energy, humans know how to start the nuclear energy, but you can't stop it. But we know how to control it. So artificial intelligence is very powerful tool. It can be something which is extraordinarily good for the humans. It can be extraordinarily dangerous for humans. But humans have the capacity to control it. And I am sure we humans will control. I have full trust in human mind, the capacity of human mind, artificial intelligence. And that is why there is since we are concerned about, you ask the question. Now this question is in the mind of leaders of the world. What is worrying you is also worrying the leaders of the world, scientists of the world, scientists in the artificial intelligence domain, those who created, those were founding fathers of artificial intelligence. They are worried about it. So they have started, they are all working on it. How to devise a system that artificial intelligence doesn't become destructive. And they will find it. Because we are not unaware of it. We are aware of the risk. And we are working on it. The best brains in the world are now working on developing the artificial intelligence and at the same time see that it does not go out of control. So I don't think we need to worry. It will never rule us. Next, yes.
Good evening, sir.
I'll come to you. She's younger, huh?
Yes, sir, sure.
I can hear you. You know, entertainment, when we say entertainment, please sit down. Sit down, sit down. First of all, each one of you must do one thing, time management. When you get up in the morning, when you go to bed, the time in between. How many hours are you sleeping? You cannot sleep for 10 hours. You cannot. You have to control the time. So, time management. Don't waste time, because time lost is not going to come back. But you cannot be studying all the time. Naturally, your mind also gets fatigued, tired. It needs rest. It needs the small breaks. So you take small breaks and you find out what is that entertains you. Some people say, okay, playing video game entertains. No, believe me, it doesn't entertain. It makes you far more stressed, because you are playing the game with a sense of competition to defeat it. You are stressed, you are not relaxed. So playing such thing, video game or chat, even chatting to your friends, is it entertainment? It doesn't. Actually, chatting to a friend, I am not saying that you should not chat to your friend. But you continue chat. It's okay, I have 1 hour break, 1 hour I will chat with my friend. No, that is not entertainment. When you say entertainment, entertainment means it should be relaxing. Relaxing to prepare you for your next study. Because you are in class 7, you are 7th grade. At least, now you have about 5 years more to complete your school, higher secondary. Then at least 4 to 5 year degree course. So you have about 10 years of life when you cannot think of things which is not helping you in fulfilling your dream. You have to be focused. So entertainment should be something that relaxes you, maybe a music, good music. That can be one. Suppose you like to do painting, do the painting, fine. That can be any sort of entertainment. You find entertainment. You must understand what entertainment is for. Entertainment is not to remain active other than what other than your studies. Entertainment is to recharge you. Recharge you to again come back to your study with more energy. And that is either you can take a short break, take a cat nap, listen to some good music, do some painting. If you are hobby like to do, go to the kitchen, cook something which you like and eat. Now these are constructive entertainment which relaxes you. So that is, you have to be very clear about the idea of entertainment. Entertainment is not just doing things which I described. No. So that balance you have to maintain. Yes, next.
Yes, sir.
No. You ask.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. I am V. Triselvi from Velamal Bodhi Campus, Anpanadi, and I have 2 questions for you. First question is, you were saying that you wanted to become an astrophysicist at first, and now you are a governor now of Tamil Nadu. But in this journey, did you feel anything different? Like in childhood, you have dreamt about being an astrophysicist, and now you are in some other field. So whether you have questioned yourself, like this is where I want to be, or did you have some questions to yourself, like in this? And my second question is, I have so many great dreams, like representing India at Max Olympiad and getting good ranks in JEE in academic field. So in that, I am facing a lot of challenges, like distractions and all. And how can I counter all those? Like, how can I face them? Your advice for
you said that you are getting feeling challenges like distractions.
Distraction, but more than, not much distraction, but lack of concentration.
Lack of concentration.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
all right. Now about your first question, what I wanted in my college days, sit down. I had to be astrophysicist, now I am here. I have no regret, because here it helped me in understanding human being, human life, touching the lives of so many people. And so and it was my own choosing. Nobody forced me. Circumstances were such, I changed it. It was my decision. Never regret your decision. Never ever regret your decision. Even if you have got a setback, don't regret it. At the most, you learn from it, but never regret. I have absolutely no regret, because when I joined this IPS, when I went to the subdivision, I felt, look, there are 7-8 lakhs people in the subdivision. It was my responsibility to see that the people have a peaceful life. There is no theft, there is no burglary, there is no rowdyism, there is no bullying, but crime is controlled. So the people are happy. Keep the criminals away. Now, the satisfaction that you get is phenomenal. At every level which you go to the district, subsequently to the higher level. So, the sense of satisfaction that you get by providing service to the people, it is very fulfilling. So I have no regret at all. 2 reasons. One was my decision. Subsequently, I found these things which was far more fulfilling to me. When I know that I have reduced the crime significantly in my charge district, people can freely move. Even after second show in the cinema, nowadays of course people don't go, many people say, well, now they go to cinema, but those days, after second show, when women can walk down from the theater to home safely undisturbed, that gives me satisfaction, a huge sense of fulfilling. About your concentration, which you are facing in you say you have been in Math Olympiad and all this. For concentration, the best thing which I have found is meditation. Yoga, I'm not talking about, nowadays yoga has become a business. Many people have come into business. They will try to ask you to do things which are more painful. No, yoga is never painful. These are all wrong ways of telling about yoga. Yoga is always relaxed, always at ease. Sukham is a very principle of any position which gives you pain is not a yoga. But when I say for concentration, it's more pranayam and meditation. It comes with practice. Even first thing is pranayam is physical. Whether you do anulom vilom, whether you do kapalabhati, whether you do brahmari, all these are, how to do it. So you do it. And you do it. But when it comes to meditation, the concentration, there is no formula mechanical, except that you try to concentrate. You have something dharana, something, and you try to concentrate on that. Now that comes only with practice. And I assure you that I don't know whether you are doing it, but if you continue it for a month, you will start seeing the change. Nothing, for me at least, nothing has worked more for concentration than my yoga and meditation. Stick to that. It will do you a lot of good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the inspiring one-to-one interaction with the students. Now I call upon Madura Mohan, winner of Smart India Hackathon 2022, to propose a vote of thanks.
Just a sec. I mean, a word for the parents. I have been talking to the children, a student, but I know the parents are there. And You know, you are all proud parents, your children are doing so well, you have reasons to be proud. But you have a heavy responsibility. Because these children they are national assets. They are your children, your son, your daughter. But don't forget that they are not just your son or your daughter. They are national assets. It is our duty, and primarily your duty, to see that they grow. They grow to the best of their capacity. I often tell the young students that they are like seeds, banyan seeds. You know the banyan tree, huge tree, its fruits, small fruits, and within that small fruit you have a small seed. But in that seed is hidden the big tree. Now, your children are that big banyan tree. They must grow to that mammoth size. And it is your job to see that they grow. How? Parenting is not just a biological act. You produce a child and you nurse and feed. It is a big responsibility. You have to see. First thing is, you don't have to pamper the children too much. Because the children are achievers. Everyone is giving them pat on the back. Is very good. But you as a parent, you must see that the child does not get swayed by it. You have always to tell the child, you have much more to achieve. This is just a beginning. This is not the end. It is the beginning. You have to go much longer distance. A long way to go. Don't get distracted. Awards that you have won, the medals that you have won is very good. We are all happy about it. As a parent, we are proud of you. But discipline. When you see the child, because they are at an age where they can get distracted. So, what I told to the children about digital control over digital device, parents have a big responsibility to see that they are controlled. Sometimes we believe that everything that a child asks, I must try to give. No, that's not a good thing. You must learn to say no. This is not. It is for you to judge whether this thing is needed for that child. It helps in the growth of the child. If it is not, say no. Nothing. Because no child grows in an overindulgent atmosphere. Overindulgent atmosphere will pamper, and fair chance that the child over the years will get spoiled, will lose the track. Because they are at an age which is impressionable. They do not have a correct sense of right or wrong. They have the talent. They have the talent to achieve something extraordinary, something good. But they do not have the sense of right and wrong, which can only come with age. If the child grows beyond 20, fine, you can say that. But they are very tender age. They are still, many of them are not even teens. Some of them are in teens. So it is your job to see that you don't pamper the child, encourage the child. Always give positive stroke. Yes, you can do it. And you must do it. And help the child in developing in the trait which the child is growing. Good in studies, good in studies. Good in sports, good in sports. help the child. As parents, you have a big responsibility, because nowadays children are we are getting a lot of complaints, and the most important is your own self-discipline in the house. You will find, okay, now it's the dinner time. Child, father, mother, child. Father, mother, both of them are busy on their mobile. Now, and you tell child, no, you don't. No, that's not the right thing. You must learn to have the discipline. You must learn the time, that this is the time, no mobile, nothing. It is time with my child. When you go to the dinner table, don't carry these things with you. Because nothing teaches a child more appropriately than the behavior of the children, of the parents. How you conduct yourself. Because your child does not necessarily only have to grow in the talent, but also has to grow as a good human being. For them to grow because only when they are good human being, they grow in life. Only then the positive will be attracted to them, they will grow. Otherwise, you may be a great achiever, but people will start, and he's an arrogant fellow. It doesn't take you much. So, it is parents themselves, father, mother, you have to be self-disciplined for the sake of growth of your own child. At least in the house, in the home where the child is. When the child grows beyond 20 and all this, okay, that's a different, that phase is gone, but not until then. So as a parents, my advice would be, first is to remember your child has a capacity to do something extraordinary. It gives you a big responsibility. It is not the child is growing, but he will not keep growing, or she will not keep growing. You have to be careful, conscious, guide, observing, monitoring, assisting, controlling. At times telling no. And with your own personal conduct, by the mother, father, giving an example to the child. We have all, and old days, we all used to grow looking at our parents, how they are, how they, conduct themselves. So, be conscious of that. I think if you are grooming the child with this sense of responsibility that this child is your child, but is also a national asset, and the child has to. Please keep that in mind. Please that in mind, and do whatever you are doing, you can do. But don't be overindulgent. Learn to discipline the child. Time management. Child wakes up at 10 o'clock in the morning. He will study very brave. 10 o'clock. Why should 10 o'clock? Child must get up in the morning unless something has happened the previous night. That's a different situation. But the child must know what morning feels like. Being awake in the night, sleeping in the daytime. No. Body diurnal, the nature's creation. We have the life has evolved along the natural motions, day and night. We must be in tune with that. So, instill the sense of discipline and see that, be observant. That's my advice, which I would like to tell the parents. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So as you rightly mentioned, with the birth of every child, new parents are also born. Thank you, sir. Now I call upon Madhura Mohan to propose the vote of thanks. He is the winner.